Let me guess, you're trying to lose that excess fat and you're just not seeing any results. You've been doing the so-called eating healthy, you've been training the gym for years and years and just not losing the weight, or you're essentially doing endless ab crunches and it's just not working. Guys, I'm gonna break down all the myths, all the crap, and just give you the 4-step formula you need to essentially get it. Because guys, I've been there, I've done that, I've been in your shoes, and I just wanna essentially give you the blueprint you're missing. So what I'm gonna do is break down a 4-step simple formula that you guys can use right now after watching this 15-minute video to essentially lose this belly fat. It's quick, it's simple, it's easy. I'm gonna give it to you right now. First, we're gonna break down the misconceptions between fat loss and spot reduction and why it's a myth. Second, we're gonna just break down some basic misconceptions a lot of people seem to get wrong on how to shred fat quicker. I'm just gonna give it to you right now. The third, an actual step that you guys could use literally after watching this video and for the personalization touches for long-term sustainability. So guys, the high value packed video, so let's get right into it. If you're new to the channel or you've been to the channel before, welcome back. So let's talk about the difference between spot reduction and fat loss. For spot reduction, guys, let's just break this here right now. It's a myth. It doesn't work. And the reason it doesn't work is because essentially, guys, you can't just lose fat maybe here, or here. It just doesn't work like that. What you essentially need to do is correlate fat loss to calorie deficit to shredding weight. I know it sounds a little difficult, but I'm gonna break it down step by step and make it as easy as possible for you guys to walk out this video with this high value information so you can implement it right away. But guys, it all comes down to how bad you want it. You could take this information and actually apply it to your life and see life-changing results, or you could watch this video, get the quick dopamine hit, and be in the same exact place. I highly recommend option number 1. Use this information and get yourself out of the situation. Then option number 2 is you take this information, you be in the same place in the same time. It doesn't get you anywhere. So guys, in regards to spot reduction, don't think about it as spot reduction. It's very hard to essentially lose fat in a key spot because it's impossible. It doesn't work like that. What you're going to do instead is of course going to resort to a maintenance calories. And the reason I say maintenance calories is because you need to find what you eat in a day to then put yourself in a calorie deficit. So a good way in order for you to track what you eat in a day is to use a software like MyFitnessPal. Very easy, simple, straightforward. So what I want you guys to do is to 3 to 5 days is to make sure you track everything you eat and just simply log it. That's going to give you an understanding of what your calorie count is. And if your weight increases, that means essentially you're eating too much. You need to decrease your calories, and vice versa. If you're not eating enough, you're going to increase your calories and then you should get a medium weight. What you're also going to do is weigh yourself in this period. So you're going to have 2 data points. You're going to have what you eat in a day and the scale number. That's going to give you a predominantly close, accurate to see what you're eating and what your calorie count is. Then, once we have our maintenance calories, we're then going to operate in a calorie deficit, 300 to 500 calories. And that is essentially how we're going to go instead of using that so-called spot reduction and actually lose this weight. So, but in order for us to actually sustain this weight off, we need to use sustainability. It's very important because if you're not gaining the right information and skill sets, you're going to essentially lose the weight. Maybe it's a fad diet and then just gain it back, if not more. So we can't allow that to happen. And our nutrition is going to be broken down to key macronutrients. First, we have our protein. Second, we have our carbs. Third, we have our fats. Your protein, guys, are very important. So what I want you guys to resort to is 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Your second one, we have our carbs, which should be anywhere from 30 to 40%, depending on what your program goal is. If you're shredding fat, I recommend 30 to 40% of your calorie intake. And then, of course, the fats will be anywhere 20 to 30. The reason I use those ranges because you, of course, have to adjust as you go. Nothing's always set in stone. Everyone's body's different. But those are your basic ballparks. And I can't stress how important the protein intake is. Guys, protein intake is so important. Once you actually understand that your protein intake does 3 byproducts, it allows you to build muscle, feel full longer, and to actually less calories, that's how you're essentially going to lose this weight. Because guys, you're not going to get the cravings for those cheat meals. You're not going to essentially eat those snacks because you're going to be so full from your meals. And that's why protein intake is so important. And of course, to essentially lose the fat, because if you're doing that, you're not going to be, eating those M&Ms, those Sour Patch Kids, those pretzels, the popcorn, the soda. It's just not happening because you're going to be so full. And essentially, you're just not going to have that thought of, all right, I want that late night snack, which is going to kill you. So please don't do that because guys, calories add up over time. So if we talked about now putting ourselves in a calorie deficit, now we have the ability to actually shred fat. But what I also want to correlate second half of this equation to is, of course, having an exercise, and that resorts to strength training and doing your daily steps. 2 keys right there. So when we talk about strength training and doing your daily steps, essentially, here's what we're going to resort to. It's really important to have your split kind of complement the amount of days you're going to the gym. So guys, a good way I like to go about this, if you're going 3 days a week, I like to resort to a full body workout. 4 days in upper and lower, and 5 to 6 days in Arnold or a push-pull leg split. This is the ability to hit multiple, muscle groups and to increase the training frequency in order for us to pack on muscle quicker. That's a lot to digest right there. I get it. I'm going to break it down a little more simpler, just because I know if I was on the other end watching this video and my younger self, I'd be like, dude, what the hell is this guy talking about? I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to break it down as simple as I can. So guys, when we talk about, the way you should really structure your workouts is first, of course, pick a split that is sustainable, that you can achieve. So guys, if you're going to the gym 3 days a week, a full body is a really good way to go back, because essentially you're allowing yourself to hit multiple muscle groups. That resorts to your compound lift. So guys, a compound lift, if you guys don't know, just to make it very simple, is the ability to hit multiple muscle groups. And these are the lifts you essentially start your workout with: your bench press, your squat, your barbell row, your overhead shoulder press. The essential exercises that I hit multiple muscle groups. And you're like, bro, how does the bench press hit multiple muscle groups? I'm gonna show you right now. So guys, the bench press actually doesn't only hit your chest. If you didn't know that, it hits your chest, parts your shoulders, your core, your triceps, into multiple muscle groups. And all these compounds have the ability to hit multiple muscle groups. That's why it's really good to essentially, the more compound lifts you do, the more times you hit each muscle group, that's increasing your training frequency, allowing you to essentially build muscle at a quicker rate. And then of course we could throw in progressive overload, which I'm going to actually touch on after, because again guys, I want this at high value per second. It's going to give you a lot of information, and literally you could take this and to really change your life and to get the body you want. So if we just talked about, the compound lifts, the ability to essentially hit multiple muscle groups, that is really important. That's how you're going to actually craft your workout. And then your strength training is the ability to build muscle. But guys, if we talk about strength training, we need to talk about progressive overload, because that's the second part of the equation, which is the ability to build muscle over time. And if we use our compound lifts, so essentially if we look at our entire workout that we just went over, we have our training split, what we're going to do. Our compound lifts are going to start it, and then we're going to use progressive overload. That's 3 keys you guys could really do to conquer your strength training. And progressive overload, guys, the ability to, of course, build muscle over time. Maybe you're increasing the reps, the weight, the intensity. The reps are a really good way, and I want to kind of break it down as simple as possible. If you're doing your compound lifts, you operate in a rep range of 6 to 9 lifts. Those are, of course, the barbell row, the squat, the bench press, overhead shoulder press, incline press, all stuff like that, 6 to 9 reps. And what you're going to do essentially, once you cap off 9 reps consistently, you're going to increase the weight. Your reps are going to essentially decrease, and you're going to rinse and repeat to build muscle over time. This is going to allow you to essentially frame your body. And of course, guys, the more you work out, the more calories you burn. On top of your nutrition, you're giving yourself the ability to do life-changing results, because you're actually doing stuff that's going to actually see tangible results right away. Of course, guys, you're not going to see it tomorrow, in a week. It's going to actually take time because you have to smash these inputs, but you're doing the right stuff. That's the right formula and the right blueprint. Now we talked about our training, guys. That's going to put us in a calorie deficit. The nutrition alone, and then the training's only going to complement those results. The last point I want to touch on is your daily steps. You should be aiming at least 10K steps. And guys, if you think that's hard, you're not working hard enough. 10K steps is, again, going to give you the ability to shred off extra weight. You could easily shred off an extra 1 to 2 pounds per week doing your daily steps on top of your training and nutrition. Guys, look at that. I mean, look, that's literally like a great formula to use right there. That's going to give you the ability to essentially shred that extra body fat and eliminate spot reduction. That's how you literally going to fix or stop the spot reduction crisis, to say. So guys, the second point I really want to touch on is the misconception of shredding fat. Guys, eating healthy is not enough. Yes, guys, it's good to eat, broccoli, the grilled chicken, the salmon. Yes, it's great, but you need to understand your maintenance calories. And that's why it kind of ties into the first point. You have to understand calories in versus calories out. And once you understand your maintenance and your calorie deficit, you then want to fill your healthy foods, or like the foods you enjoy, around that calorie and macro range. Again, as I mentioned, your protein intake should be your staple. 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. That's a staple. And guys, it is the ability to, of course, make sure you're not gaining excess fat, as I mentioned earlier, because you're literally making sure your calories are being used to like the fullest potential. So guys, stop worrying about spot reduction. It doesn't exist and it doesn't work. Use it the right way. And the right way is, of course, eating healthy, but tailored towards your goals and a calorie deficit. And that's how you get to essentially use your calories and macros. Again, guys, as I mentioned earlier, your protein intake should be 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Your carbs should be anywhere from 30 to 40%. And your fats are, again, the remaining 30 to 40%, however you do it. Whatever, the reason I do percentage based, because everyone's body is different. You're going to adjust as you go, and you need to have that wiggle room in between to see which one is best for you. But guys, that's literally like, the eating healthy is great once you have your frameworks, your blueprints, and then you kind of fill in those macro intake. That's a really good way to kind of think about the misconceptions or myths when it comes to, of course, the spot reduction. Because guys, spot reduction only means it's a myth. Guys, that's because spot reduction doesn't exist. What you need to do, instead of thinking spot reduction, think calorie deficit. Calorie deficit shreds fat. Shreds fat is the ability to, of course, unlock your dream body. But that all happens by smashing your inputs every single day. Because when you smash inputs every single day, it gives you sustainability, it gives you habits, it gives you structure, it gives you discipline. And then again, guys, longevity. Longevity has to be the most important principle, because if you have longevity in what you do, you enjoy what you do, is tailored to your lifestyle. And guys, that's point number 2. I hope I kind of touched on, the misconceptions about spot reduction. Don't worry about that. Worry about the ability to essentially be in a calorie deficit and then build in with those so-called healthy foods. And then if you want to throw in your ab crunches on top of that, that's fine. But how can you see your abs essentially when you're just eating so many calories over? I mean, guys, you're just not going to see the muscle deficit. Think about it like this. This is a good example. If you're eating so much excess calories, you're going to get excess fat. And then you're doing all these ab crunches. Your abs are not going to show because the excess fat covers it. What happens if we remove that excess fat and then we do the definition of the ab crunches? Then you're actually going to see it. You see what I'm saying? So it's all about the way you think and how you see things. So guys, worry about the calorie deficit, dropping down the weight, and then you want to do the ab crunches. That's fine. You can still do the ab crunches in between. It's just not going to be able to show if you don't lose that excess fat. The third thing, guys, is an actionable plan. So what I want to do is touch on the points I just mentioned and put an actual plan for you in regards to your training and your nutrition. So guys, what you're essentially going to do is be operating a blueprint, your so-called winning formula, if you want to put it that way. But the winning formula only works if you execute on the inputs every single day, and executing the inputs is extremely important, because if you could do that, you give yourself the ability to essentially win each day. And when you win each day, you're building momentum. Building momentum leads to life-changing results. Life-changing results leads to compound effect, and then hence you're going to form a new identity and unlocking the dream body. And guys, that's so important, because once you think about it like that, the compound effect, smashing inputs every single day, then the training nutrition gets adapted to your lifestyle, and that's how you gain the essential information and skill sets. But a few points I kind of want to touch on previously, because again, guys, I want to give you as much information as possible, because this stuff really changed my life, and I hope you guys can use the same information, take action, and not just listen, scribble down notes, essentially use anything with it. You want to use the information. Applied action is learning. If you're not applying the action, you're essentially not learning. You're just doing productive procrastination, where you're going to go in an endless loop of feeling like you've accomplished something, but you really haven't. Guys, I've been there, I've done that. Just take action. I'm going to save you a lot of time in between. So guys, the benchmarks I want to retouch on in regards to nutrition is 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Your carbs should be anywhere from 30 to 40%. And guys, for your carbs, what I want you to do is focus on complex carbs, the ability for your body to break down this at a longer period of time, so you get more energy, you're going to feel full longer, and it's actually going to be less calories. Some examples could be whole wheat bread, quinoa, sweet potatoes, stuff like this that's essentially a lot healthier. It's a lot cleaner. You're actually getting the right energy to optimize your workouts, and essentially just making sure you feel your best throughout the day, and that's really important. The fats, guys, this is really important as well. Don't get crap. Don't eat McDonald's and Burger King. When I'm talking about healthy fats, it's, eating nuts. How your olive oils are really good. Or, maybe some grass-fed butter. Stuff like this that's really healthy and allows your body to regulate the hormones, because, that's where the fats come into play, and essentially it's really important. When you do stuff like this, guys, eat healthy, still enjoy your favorite foods, but always make sure you're in that model or that essential blueprint, that you're in that calorie deficit and you're doing your macros tailored specifically towards that. But guys, really important to make sure you change as you go. Your body, you're gonna need to adjust as you go. That's why the percentage base, you always have some wiggle room in between, because you need to adjust as you go. And if you don't adjust, your body's gonna get stagnant. Stagnant is gonna lead to stagnant growth, and then you're just not gonna see results, which essentially moves to demotivating. You're not gonna be energized to really get up and throughout the day, all that different stuff. So don't do that. Trust me, I've been there. Just don't do that. So I hope that kind of touches on the nutrition aspect. And then the training, we talked about how to form your workout. So guys, our splits are really important. So 3 days we have a full body, 4 days an upper and lower body split, and 5 or 6 days the push-pull legs or Arnold split. Then we touched on the compound list, in which you're going to start your workouts, and then you're going to end with your isolation list. I know I didn't touch on isolation list, but your isolation list essentially, guys, hit a subgroup of the muscle group. So when I talk about that, you have, say, your chest, and you want to hit the middle part of your chest, maybe doing a pec deck, something that isolates the middle part of the chest, or, the cables, whatever is work best for you essentially. But when you do stuff like that, that's the ability to make sure you're really isolating that muscle group, and that's an isolation lift. As I talked on progressive overload, which ties into the next point, progressive overload for your compound lifts are anywhere from 6 to 9 reps. Once you hit the 9 reps, you're going to essentially increase the weight. Your reps are going to decrease, rinse and repeat. And then for isolation lifts, 10 to 12 reps, same thing. What you're going to do is hit 12 for consistently. Then you're essentially going to increase the weight. Reps are going to decrease, rinse and repeat to build muscle. And that's your key blueprint essentially to build a muscle quicker on top of your nutrition. And you know what sews everything up? I hope you guys remember is your daily steps at 10K. I mean, guys, literally the nutrition, training, daily steps, and of course, the run your water intake, 3 to 5 water bottles per day, is a winning formula for success. And that is literally like how you essentially win right there. And then we're going to tie in the fourth point, which is personalization. Guys, you got to do stuff you actually enjoy. Put your favorite foods in that's healthy. I'm not saying Burger King, McDonald's, Taco Bell. Put stuff you actually enjoy. Maybe it's grilled chicken, ground beef, salmon, steak. You know, maybe you enjoy sweet potatoes. Whatever food you actually enjoy that you can sustain long term is the way you personalize it. Don't do stuff you like actually don't enjoy. Don't drink protein shakes you don't like protein shakes. Do stuff that you could actually sustain and you could gain the essential skill sets and information. Because guys, the more trial and error, the more stuff you see what you like, that's when you essentially double down. You learn stuff new about your body that you didn't know. You learn more stuff about the nutrition. Because guys, all you have to do is have applied action. Then you start to see what works, what doesn't work, and then you build off the momentum. And again, guys, that's how I'm essentially going to tie everything together. That's literally the blueprint to shredding body fat. Don't think about spot reduction. It's a myth. It doesn't work. That's how you're going to go about winning each and every single day, smashing these inputs and personalize it specifically towards your lifestyle. So guys, I hope this video was valuable. Again, I try to make these videos high value per second, short, sweet, to the point, and I hope I did just that. Guys, it really means a lot that you guys came here and watched this video today. I hope this gave you everything you need. But remember, guys, learning isn't learning if you're not applying the action. Applied action is the ability to learn. If you're not, it's productive procrastination, literally getting nowhere. So don't do that. I've done it for so long. It didn't get me anywhere. And I don't want you guys to go through the same mistakes I did. So guys, I hope this video, of course, was helpful. Thank you again for watching this video. It means the world to me that you guys are coming and supporting the channel. Again, I just want to change lives to fitness and really unlock your best self. And I know fitness does just that for me. So I hope you guys get the same effect. Guys, if you haven't seen me already, make sure you check out the IG reel over here. I'm going to list it. I post daily stories, the ability to see more behind the scenes stuff, actionable advice that you could use every single day, and how I sustain fitness and to really unlock the best version of myself and to really unlock your full potential because it flows to other parts of your life. So please make sure you check it out. Again, guys, I only want to help, and I really think, more behind the scenes stuff, being in the journey of fitness for 8 years, unlocking my dream body. As you see my physique over here, it's been insane, and I just want to get back and really help people become their best self. Guys, if you're really serious though about really taking your stuff to the next level, make sure you click the link down below. I only, work with a handful of people because I really want people who are willing to take action and to really conquer, their true self, the true potential they have that they want to achieve and they want to do with their life. And fitness does that all for you. Building those habits, building that structure, building that self-accountability, building that discipline, all that different stuff, and how it flows as the epicenter to success. Because guys, you're going to feel more confident, you're going to think differently, you're going to feel better, people are going to respect you more, you're going to, fit into your clothes better, all this different stuff. When you actually take action, again, guys, applied action is what gets the ball rolling, what gets momentum going. Once you get momentum going, life-changing stuff happens. So thank you guys, and I look forward to seeing the next video on the channel.